Welcome back to the channel. Today we're playing with the Poor Diesel Challenge truck. Now for those of you that don't know what the Poor Diesel Challenge is, it's 10 grand to buy a diesel pickup truck, soup it up, do whatever you need to do, and then compete with that truck at 10 grand. So this is an 01 LV7 I bought off of Marketplace. Paid $1,100 for it. Doesn't run. It cranks over, doesn't run. The interior is pretty crispy and there's no bed on it. So I've already messed with it a little bit. I haven't been able to get it running. However, I got a couple hot batteries for it, some jumper cables, and we're gonna see if I can't get it running today. I have to reset the VATS key learn system. The security light's flashing, so there's a thing where you can like cycle the key 3 times and it should reset the light. Doesn't mean that it's going to, but it should. Yeah, the engine's pretty cherry. So I got a battery for there, a battery for there. And then I'm gonna use the Expedition to be able to charge those batteries while this goes through a relearn. So onto that. Just folded the seat back down and holy crap. There's a John Deere filter sitting in the back of this thing. What I'm currently looking for is some bolts for the battery, which it looks like we might have some in here. What is this? All right, here's where we're at now. 1 battery, 2 battery, jumper cables to the Expedition to keep this thing topped off. I've already put it into the first key cycle. So we've got the theft light, security light, my bad, coming on. So do 1 key cycle, wait 10 minutes, do another key cycle, wait 10 minutes, do a 3rd key cycle, wait 10 minutes, and hopefully that'll start. I personally doubt that it will, but here we go. All right, so this is the 2nd key cycle, and you know it's the 2nd key cycle, or not the 2nd, but you know you're where you need to be because it goes battery, goes coolant, and then it goes back to the battery. Maybe, hopefully. Yeah, back to the battery. So you know that it's gone past the security system. This is the 2nd one, and what you do now is you're going to shut the ignition off, turn it back on, crank it, nothing happens, and then it should give you the security thing. So battery and coolant, and then it should say security. Boop, security. So from my understanding, you do this 3 times and then it should reset that whole ordeal. I don't know what's actually gonna happen with it, but we're on the 3rd time now, so hopefully this is the last time we have to do this. All right, and she's back to doing just the battery and coolant, and then it should go back to the battery. Boom. All right, so now key off, key on, crank, wait to start. Yeah, see, does the security light come on? So battery, battery. Low coolant. Do we have a security light now? It's the $1 million question. All right, so the security thing's fixed. So security issue is fixed. The primer head's kind of already offset just because that's how it is. Let's see if we can't get a prime in this thing. That's probably part of our problem there, is not being able to get a good prime out of it. Now, I did buy some Bill Cosby in a can, which we are going to spray into the Y bridge. And I doubt that's gonna make a difference because it didn't the other day. Survey says. Nope. Interesting. Gave her another sniff. We're gonna try cranking on it one more time. Hasn't even built up oil pressure yet. It's weird. So as you've heard, whenever this thing's cranking over, it sounds like it's popping out of the intake. Got ourselves some wire. Just got us one hooked up there onto the starter. If this thing will focus. Maybe it will, maybe it won't. Got ourselves the ignition in the on position. We take the positive lead and we should be able to. She sounds very interesting. And now what I want to see is if while cranking, how much do we have out of this? That makes this even stranger because if the cam pin was broken, it wouldn't be pulling air through the intake. So now I'm gonna crank it while spraying it with ether and see if it'll hit that way. Y'all are set up for a nice good fireball. Fireball! Open that up as much as we can, sort of, kind of, not really. Take this and shove this between it. That should be enough to kind of get the point across. All right. Basically just emptied 3/4 of this can trying to get this thing to start. At this point, I'm gonna say that motor needs to come out and we need to figure out what's going on. If it does have a snap cam pin, which I doubt it has a snap cam pin because it'll still pull a vacuum on my hand, which means it's pumping air through the system. Actually, it could have a snap cam pin. It's just moved it back so far that it's not able to build the compression to run. And yes, the security light is off now. So battery, and then it'll do battery again, and then it should do coolant, and then it'll go back to the battery. Security light is no longer on. Maybe, possibly. So there's a coolant, and then back to the battery, so no security light. And then as far as cranking is concerned, she just doesn't have it in her. Yeah. Finally getting to explore this truck that I got. We got a cool filter out of it behind this seat. And it looks like we got a radio. We got ourselves a little JVC deal. That actually looks like it might fit. And yep, it does. So we got ourselves a radio, which I like radios. What else? We got some Donaldson filters. It's a new filter. Looks pretty crummy. Oh, we've got a harness that's not inspiring confidence at all. Nobody ever wants to find that. We've got HVAC controls. What else do we have back here? I don't know what this is. This is weird. This is some sort of block filter? What is this? Napa fuel filter element. It's a weird looking fuel filter element. See-through though, so there's that. We have a really nice thick bushing or something. LS parts. Nobody wants those. Safety glasses. I think that's it. Oh wait, there's more wiring. This is crazy. So the AC system still has Freon in it, which leads me to the next question. Oh dude, the compressor still turns. That compressor's good. So all this AC stuff, we're gonna strip that off. We're going to sell it. Those compressors are worth like $250 to $300 on eBay. Gonna see if I can't sell the wheels off of this. I like the aluminum wheels, but 16s are an oddball size to find for drag radials and stuff. Tank's gonna have to be swapped out for a short tank. So we've got a fuel tank. I've got an axle seal coming for the axle. I do have a U-joint for that. The body on this thing is way cleaner than it should be. Like no dents. I don't know if this is a factory hood with that little raised section right there. I know that line is factory. I don't think that line is factory though. I could be wrong. Like I said, no dents in the door. The only dent I have been able to find has been that one right there in the rocker. This whole side is pretty clean. I don't see any dents in that rocker. This is all nice and neat. The bumper, plastics, or foobar. The body lines don't line up either, which makes me think that that's not an OEM hood. But the light is still hooked up to it. But I'm not also seeing any of the emissions markings like what this stuff would have been on the hood. I don't know what U-joint cap that is off of, but it definitely does not go to this thing. Because, yeah, she's a little bit of a big U-joint right there. Back to where it came from. We got the valence already in here. The steering wheel is questionable, but for $1,100, I'm not complaining about it. So next time we come back to this deal, I will be yanking that motor out. Probably has a sheared cam pin, probably has some bent push rods, which is where you're getting that popping from. And once I confirm that suspicion, we will pull the motor out of the 67 and put it into this. Also need to find a 25-gallon fuel tank and a short bed to put onto this thing. We're gonna buy the roll pan off of Fleabay, and yeah, that should wrap up the entire body ordeal. So watch out for the next episode where I yank that LB7 out. I'll show you how to do that, and then we'll tear it down and see what's wrong with it.